New England did take Irene's last punch here in the United States. A lot of concern, the tourists still vacationing there on the coast, especially Cape Cod. And ABC's David Curley is along the water in Marion, Massachusetts now. David.
Good evening, Diane. We're on a floating pier that gives you a sense of how this normally calm bay is still being hit by these strong winds here in Massachusetts. And there's still a worry tonight about the surge that's coming at 8 o'clock tonight as the high tide rolls in.
Irene barreled into New England, no longer a hurricane, but packing plenty of power, pushing around people and pushing massive amounts of ocean water on shore. ABC's Ashley Banfield in Stamford, Connecticut.
We're at the peak of the wind velocity now as the storm is hitting coastal Connecticut, and while it's not necessarily a rain story anymore, the wind story is making it a water story. Huge volumes of water are just crashing inland.
The winds came right up the gut of the harbor in Mattapoisett, Massachusetts, throwing a sailboat on shore, cutting power, and leaving even an off-duty police officer worried about the coming high tide.
It's not the wind. You think the high tide later tonight?
It's the storm surge at the back end of the storm. 5 to 11 feet at high tide. It's going to be full moon high tide. So that's my concern.
And it's not just coastal water. Up to 8 inches of rain is straining dams in western Massachusetts, swelling rivers to the edge of their banks. Several communities have been ordered to evacuate.
The last major hurricane here was Bob 20 years ago. That storm surge was way above my head. They're hoping it's not that high tonight.